Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Let's see who we got on. Good morning, Brian Keene, Teresa DiCiola, Isabel, Liberta, Nancy. Sonia's on. Good. We got a lot of cool people on today so far. I'm happy about that. So how was your weekend?
I'm tore up. It was great, as you can tell.
Take a good look at Jenny Waters, everybody. This is what hungover looks like.
It's true. It's true.
And you know what? You've all been there, so no judging.
No judging.
All right?
No
I
judging.
get it. I just, once you reach a point of like fully alcoholic, then like I can drink the same amount as you, but you just can't tell the next day.
Oh.
It's called a functioning alcoholic.
Oh, he's kidding, guys.
I'm
He's
totally
really
kidding.
not.
I'm totally kidding. But so, hey, I know we were going to dump this book, Jenny.
Yeah.
Shake it up because I'm like, eh.
Right.
And the more I read it, the more I got excited.
I'm so happy.
I know, I'm happy. And guess what, Adam? You're going to like it because a lot of it applies to you.
Oh, good.
Yes, we're going to have a good time with it. Actually, it applies to everybody. But I just want to jump right in. All right? I'm going to jump right in. And I have a real question. And Adam, I want you to be involved today. And Brian Keene and everybody out there, I want you to be involved because there's some big questions that we have to ask.
Oh, big questions, people.
And people, some of them, you know, sometimes I ask questions and I think they're stupid questions because they don't really relate to me. But I notice that when I say them,
it's not all about you.
that's what I'm figuring out.
It's not all about you, baby.
I know. Oh, trust me. I've been realizing that lately. But one of the things, Jenny, is like I ask these questions and I'm like, oh, no, the answer is no, you know, whatever. And then you start asking other people and they're like, yes, 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 yes. Like they have a different view on it. So I'm going to start out by asking this question of everybody. Ready?
Okay.
So chapter 8 was about the anxiety trap. And we've talked about the anxiety trap before. We've talked about anxiety and I got anxiety and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But this is a different form of anxiety.
Okay.
This is the anxiety of success, which I thought was strange.
100%.
All right, and it talks about people that work towards their goal, and right before they start to reach it, they start to question themselves and ask themselves, do I deserve success? Is this something that is okay with me? And they actually almost sabotage themselves
100%.
because they feel like they don't deserve the success. Have
You
you ever heard of
You
that?
don't understand this, do you? You've never heard? Yes, I've heard this. Yes.
I mean,
it's
right when you're
real.
about ready to hit it,
Yes.
you sabotage yourself.
Your
I
weight
see Nancy
goal,
saying yes.
your money goal, all of it.
Now, Adam,
Yes.
some of you, have you ever felt that way? Like, do you feel like you don't deserve success? Like, we sabotage ourselves, or right before we're about to make a big move, we don't? Or have you ever heard of that before? Because I just wanted to get an outside opinion.
Of course.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Like, you'll shoot yourself in the foot.
Absolutely. Just for the sake of pride, cut your nose off to spite your face.
Really?
Oh, sure.
Does anybody, Nancy, I saw Nancy said yes on that. Nancy, do you mind just chiming in? You don't even have to have your monitor on, but tell me how what that's all about to you. If you can jump on real quick. If your audio is working, of course. And if not, that's fine too. And anybody that wants to chime in on it, because I'm interested. I really am. And that goes for you too, Sonia. If you want to jump in, if you've seen people in your coaching experience that have sabotaged themselves or didn't feel they deserve it, what do we got?
Absolutely. Some people just don't feel that they deserve, I don't know how do you say, well, it is success, but that they're not at that level, or they don't have the confidence in themselves to go to that next level. So there's that fear, and it's easier to stay in the comfort zone than it is to go forward. So you kind of sabotage yourself so you don't hit that next level. You're just comfortable where it is.
Okay.
And,
now that makes sense because that applies to the next thing here. And I saw you writing something down, Jenny. Did you have something to add?
I did. I've heard many times we have the life we feel we deserve. And that goes, we have the love we feel we deserve. We've talked about that.
Yeah. I like that.
It's so true.
So basically.
Oh, there's Nancy.
Oh, go ahead, Nancy.
Okay, so I agree with Sonia. I feel like once I'm getting there, I don't know what's going to happen next. So I stop myself from the next level. I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of second guessing everything.
So Nancy, let's bust through that, okay? Because here's what it basically says. It says when great things happen, instead of enjoying it, people look for reasons that they shouldn't have it. And this part I understood, though, Jenny. This part I understood. People are so concerned about losing what they have that they don't enjoy it or look at what the future can bring. So like a lot of people, like, okay, I'm comfortable here, which is what Sonia was saying, but they don't want to move to that next level because they feel it could threaten where they're at right now, and it could force a change when they're in that level of being okay. You know, so I understand that. I mean,
I get
that makes sense. And when it starts
Hey,
to come,
Chuck?
you know, that anxiety kind of chews them up. Teresa, did you have something to add on that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the way you're raised also, because I have that anxiety. But, 12 years of Catholic school, I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters, so it's always the hand-me-downs and, always eat everything on your plate and, things like that. We don't waste things. You don't throw it away if it's not broken. Don't replace it if it's not, broken or not, So that's the hard part for me is when you start getting successful and you start acquiring these things, I feel like, gosh, do I deserve it? Do I need a new car? My old car is still running. Things like that. It really is kind of a more upbringing for me than anything else.
I would agree with that, and I would also agree, like she said, like the Catholic school upbringing and stuff like that. You really are. It does kind of, and it kind of went back to what we were saying in the last book, Teresa, which is like we're wired a certain way, and so
the guilt is ingrained.
Guilt is ingrained. Guilt is ingrained. Yeah, I mean, so it's just interesting, but it says that once you do start getting past that little point where you can accept the fact that like success is coming and this little teeny victory and I can accept it, it starts creating momentum. And as that momentum goes and goes and goes and goes, then at that point, you're on your way. At least so that's kind of what it suggests. So, and breaking into that next level, it says, the unfamiliar path of success, which is unfamiliar to a lot of people, right? I mean, how many people in this business, because let's be honest about the real estate business, the sales business. This is not a business of PhDs.
No.
This is not a business of people that sat in the front row of the class, scored a 1,500 on their SAT, and had a 4.3 GPA.
No.
I know that wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Okay, and that wasn't you, and that
No.
certainly wasn't them.
No.
Well, the only person here is Michael. Michael's the only one that had that 4.3 and scored a 1,500 on his SAT.
Did he? Did he though?
What did you score on your SAT, Michael?
It was the 2,400 point system, so
what'd
it was
you
a
get?
little different. I was like 2,100.
Nerd!
But
No, I mean, he's the smartest guy in the whole room.
34 ACT.
Well, but that's, but again, you are atypical to this business because so most of the people that are in this business, when they hit that level of success, they're not used to it. And I think that's why egos inflate, by the way. And I'm sure you guys have seen it. Follow Facebook on some of the top people from some of the companies over here off of Los Alamos on the 215 or whatever, just different companies. And you're going to see new people, new money, their egos blown up and all this different stuff because they're not familiar with the path of success.
Yeah.
They talk about new money versus old money. You remember that in the movie Titanic?
Yeah.
And how the people that all of a sudden had their success versus the people that were kind of raised in a level of success. So anyways, it can be a rewarding experience. So the promise of spring, shifting gears is the next section. And it talks about when you do want to get things going in your life, don't wait until conditions are perfect to begin. But beginning makes the conditions perfect, like getting started. And a big talk, if you remember, we talked about winter last time and how you plan and you want to get ready to roll and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Spring's about the rebirth and getting going. And it starts with some of the stuff that is so beaten up and so over-talked, but it's still important, and that is, what is your why? And I know we're like, oh my God, I've heard that a million times. What is your why? Why do we go to work? Why do we want to bust to that next level? Why do we want to do this? Why do we want to do that? And it's just, coming to grips with the relationships between your choices that you make and the outcomes that happen, right? So I make this choice, I get this outcome. And that's where we all need to be focusing with where we're heading. So it starts out by taking a minute and figuring out where we are in life. And I think that goes back to Sonia's comfort, right? We all know where we're at. You're comfortable, right?
Yeah, I'm probably too comfortable.
Aren't we all? And when we get comfortable, we want to protect what we have, and that doesn't let us. And you know what?
Yes.
And that goes for the people that are living in, a little studio apartment and, driving,
Hey, the happiest Jeremy and I probably have ever been was in a little studio apartment.
See?
Just saying.
See, but well, and yet you broke through that. But now you want to retire someday, and you've got other plans, and you got kids to take care of, and kids to, if they need to get in trouble. So it does change, right? So you kind of have to take a minute and figure out where you're at in life before you figure out these whys, and then ask the questions that we ask all the time. And again, I'm sorry to beat this up, but I like that you talked about
I'm so
whys.
happy that you are happy with it. I love this stuff.
Your business people and everybody that's on the call, why is your business where it is? You said it this morning, Jenny, because you accept where you are at.
Yeah, totally.
And why are you in this business? I think you have to ask that question too. And we see a lot of people that struggle and that aren't engaging and that aren't doing it. You got to wonder, like, is this the business for them?
And it's okay if it's not, don't you think? And just like how we have to ask about your why all the time, because our whys change, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Our whys change, but also maybe our adventure, what we thought was going to be our next goal, maybe we thought we were going to be really great at this business. We thought it was going to be super duper easy. And it's blood, sweat, and tears, baby.
I know.
You know?
Well, I mean, if you really look, I mean, we have 300 agents, and I think, you know, only 50 of them will make over 100 grand. And there'll be 200 that won't bring home over 25 grand.
Yeah.
They won't bring it home. So it does take a special type of person.
Yeah, you're
And,
right. It does.
You know, when you've got people in the company, and this is one of the things I'm jumping way ahead. When you've got people in the company like Teresa DiCiola, who's a mentor and a manager, when you've got people like Lori Robinson, who's going to make 300 grand this year, when you've got people like the Zings who are still willing to help, when you've got people like Jennifer Murphy who's willing to help, like, latch on. If you want to make it, you're not going to do it by yourself.
No.
Get out there and grab one of these top producers, take them to lunch, kiss their ass, and rip off and duplicate R&D. You know, so if you want to make it. If you don't want to make it, you know, I mean, if you're just sitting at home, not doing anything, not hitting your goal list, not doing your tasks. Anyways, I'm getting off track.
No, but I was thinking about, so often, it's so crazy, guys, because Chuck and I, we don't talk a lot outside of work. We really don't. But we'll come in and we'll both be thinking the same thing often. Because this morning I was thinking, what about, because I'm more of a pack animal. I'm not a loner. I'm not a lone wolf by any means. I need to have people around me. And being a real estate agent, you don't always, you have to find that, because otherwise you're alone. So partner up with someone. It doesn't have to be 50-50 partner all the time, but just for talk to each other. Accountability, talk to each other. You know,
Agreed.
do your marketing together. Not
Come in here.
physically. Come in here, visit.
Come sit in one of these chairs during Monday Motivation. Come to the Wednesday Sales
Did you
Mastery.
guys hear that?
Come to
You're
the Fired Up
invited.
Friday. Get off your ass and get out there and come join us.
Come join us.
We're here. There's chairs.
We need your energy, and you need us. We need you.
And you better believe if you come in here though and you make some commitments, you better do them. I can tell you that right now. We're going to talk about that next, Adam. All right. So anyways,
Hey, Chuck.
so why are you in this business? Next, why are you in the physical shape that you're in?
Oh, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Hey, why do you think it's all about you? Didn't you say earlier it's not all about you? But why are you in the physical shape you're in? Because you're willing to accept it,
I am.
right? And so am I, right? So we have to make those changes and decide our why of why we need to be in better shape. Watch the monitors. Why do you live where you live? If you want to be, you know, somewhere else or somewhere better or whatever, because you're willing to accept it. Why do you have the friends that you have? That's another
Yeah.
big question. So it's just about finding your why. And it kind of, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, but every day we have two choices,
Okay.
right? If Tristan McGowan, if you're out there, I want him to remember this one, okay?
Uh-oh.
Every day you have two choices. Make the most of our time or waste it. And that's what we do. It's as simple as that. We're going to make the most of our day, the most of our actions, the most of everything we do, or we're going to waste it. So, and there's ways that we can deal in this. So let's make some
Okay.
commitments.
Okay.
We get frustrated every day about the things that are not happening. I don't
Okay.
care if it's your weight. I don't care if
Right.
it's whatever it may be. Every day we get frustrated that I'm not making enough money. I'm not getting enough deals. I'm not doing this. So, but we have to assume the responsibility and figure out what we're doing wrong.
You are so right.
Take it yourself, people.
Ouch.
The responsibility, the reason that you're frustrated about why things are not happening, look in the mirror, right? Me too.
You're right.
Look in the mirror.
You're right. It's all
Right?
about it is all about you on this one.
Oh, well, thanks.
But me, you know.
Yeah, personally, right.
Yeah.
So now the question becomes kind of what changes are you going to make in your life to make it better? And here's the thing about real estate people and about all salespeople. I would like to say, and I'm going to say this,
Okay.
COVID is basically over.
Yeah.
If you don't
totes.
believe that,
Yeah.
you should have seen what I saw this weekend. Did you see the concert? I mean, that was going on in Temecula, just this huge country concert with thousands of people at it. COVID's over, so now you can make this business fun again.
Yes.
For all you people that started a year ago, I am sorry that you got in the business when you got in the business, because it was tough. No
was
open
rough.
houses, no social gatherings, no social farming, no chamber events. You know, I mean, I was at the city when Mike Duffy was getting the Commercial Agent of the Year award, and you know what? I was talking to some of the city people. They said it is so nice, and I said, what? They said it's the first time they've been together in a year and a half. I didn't realize, because we've been breaking the rules and doing all the things we have, but they haven't been anywhere. Oh, well, I meant other people have, not
Yeah.
us.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you can get out there and have fun with this
Yeah.
business and get back out there and do
It
things.
is a fun business.
Be social, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we're pretty good at avoiding the difficult stuff, all of us in life. and we pretend that it's not necessary to do X to get to Y.
100%.
But we have to do it. So,
Yeah.
so anyways, now you guys can kind of engage it. But I'm going to engage the peeps on this call in a minute here a little bit more. So, how many of you guys say that you're not successful because you don't have the time? How many people are saying that? I don't have the time. If only I had more time, you know. And you ask a successful person though, where do you find the time to do all you do? Hey, their kids are still doing okay, their grades are okay, they're making $400 to $1 million a year, they drive a nice car, their relationship's in decent shape. There is enough time in the day. But what happens is, and here's the scary part, and
Oh gosh.
I'm going to look at myself for this and everybody on this call. There's enough time in the day, but what about the time-wasting experiences that we all do? And I'm going to ask some of you guys right now.
Oh, get ready to turn your mics on, guys.
What if you wrote down your full day, everything you do all day, in half-hour increments? It's friggin' scary,
I don't want to.
all right? And so who on this call is willing to write down everything that they're going to do today? And see how much actual
Elizabeth
time
says
is spent
she'll do
wasting.
it.
Elizabeth, you're going to do it. Who else we got? I want you to write down just a few things. There's what I do every 15 to 30 minutes. Here's what I did today. And you're going to find out that you waste a lot of time. It's scary. You know what I mean? And it's one of the cool things, by the way, for you out there that are thinking about getting an assistant or an intern or, because so these guys have an intern, basically, Mike and Adam now. So they actually have to pretend like they're busy so that the intern doesn't think that they're absolutely worthless and get nothing done.
Bro, it's so hard.
To have to pretend you're busy.
Embarrassing. I have to leave the room sometimes.
You know what? I got stuff to do. I'll be right back. And then he
Because
just
you're
goes
so
and sits in the lobby.
exhausted from pretending to work.
Yes.
So, but that is, as a real estate agent or a salesperson, an assistant is the best because you have to be productive and you have to keep them busy. So literally, if you don't, you're wasting money if you have an assistant and you're not asking them to do productive things. And if you're not being productive, you got to feel bad asking other people to be productive. So it's just made what I thought of. And does anybody out there think that they waste a good portion of their day doing absolutely nothing? And I know one of my dear friends gets on Instagram and wanders down a rabbit hole all the time. Did you see what I did on YouTube? Well, it started here, and then I went to here, and then I went to here, and next thing you know, I was watching underwater turtles chase after mackerel. I'm like, what? During the day?
Yeah.
But here's my question for you guys. Do the most successful people in the world, do they only have 24 hours in the day too? Jenny?
Yes.
Look at you, look guilty.
I am. And I'm not even Catholic. But I was at a Catholic church this weekend.
Oh,
so
you were? Okay, well, that'll do it. Does that qualify, Teresa? All right. So the most successful people in the world only have 24. And you know what, Sonia? I'm gonna tap in on you real quick.
Yeah.
You coach some of the top people in the company, right? You have quite a few that are, most of them that are over 200, 250,000. What are they doing in their day? Why are they more productive in their day? Do you mind? Do you have a theory on that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's obvious what they do. They stay focused on what needs to be done every day to get to the ultimate goal. They have a plan of action. They work on it the night before, the morning of. They utilize their time to the fullest. They don't let their marketing go. They keep the marketing consistent. There's so many things that their systems are in place. They know what they want and they know where they're going. And kind of going back to what you were talking about in your why, I would say their whys are so strong. It's pretty amazing to see the difference between those who have strong whys and those who are just kind of placating me with their whys. They're just telling me, well, this is what I want, this is what I think, this sort of thing.
She knows I'm placating her.
Yes, I do know. So I really feel that. But going back to talking about the why a little bit, I was writing down that so many people feel success is a sign of being stingy. It's a sign of being selfish.
Yeah.
It's not what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be with the crowd. They don't like to stand out. And it goes back to a lot of what Teresa was saying in their upbringing. You need to give and not receive. And when you're successful, it's all about you. So the mindset is so strong on your why, and that's what we work on so much is not only why, but what is coming to your why to make it happen.
Well,
Go
Sonia, let me
ahead.
ask you a question based on that. I have never wanted to buy a nice car because I think it's embarrassing. Does that make sense? You know, I mean,
No, yeah.
I mean, I've always had my trucks, you know, got my trucks. You could have a nice car, but is that a bad thing or is that a good thing? Like when you see somebody like in a Corvette driving around, and this is no big deal,
No.
and then you see somebody in a Tesla, brand new Tesla, or you see somebody in a truck, does it really matter? Like do you think that, so I guess that does tie into us not, you know, being willing to accept success. Is that, I mean, what do you think about that,
Yeah.
Sonia? The house you live in, the cars you drive, and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. I think it plays a big effect on your attitude. And when what I find so many people have a hard time talking about is themselves. When I start focusing on them, they immediately go elsewhere. They've never been able to give to themselves or receive the love, to receive the benefits of their hard labor. It's like they have to give it away, or it's not right. It's not supposed to be this way. Even though they love it, they like their work, they're doing what they need to be. It's all the mindset. So I think we all feel kind of funny. I know one girl bought a very, very nice vehicle this past year, and she wouldn't tell anybody because she just felt it wasn't the right thing to do. She
Yeah.
was embarrassed because she had a beautiful new car. So it wasn't supposed to be in her mind.
You know, that is interesting, especially when you think, I think Kennedy had that speech, Sonia, that was, you know, about, you know, it's nothing wrong to actually be the light, to be the beacon, to show people what they can be capable of, you know, and that you owe it to everyone to actually to be successful and to show that you can, you know, and I looked at Obama like that. I mean, I didn't vote for him, you know, but he came from nothing and built himself into something. And you know what, if you're telling yourself I don't deserve it, or I'm, you know, I shouldn't be at whatever, it can kind of shoot you in the foot, you know. So I like that. So thank you for sharing that, Sonia. If anybody wants to chime in today, feel free. And
I have a quick story.
please.
So I coach with Sonia, and you know, I normally don't take any days off. I work, you know, usually 7 days a week, and I thought I was, you know, I'm pretty busy, but she suggested, you know, that I schedule one day off, block through it, don't schedule anything on that day. So I started tightening up my appointments on the other days, not leaving so much time in between what I was doing. And now I still don't take a day off, but I'm totally booked, like even the day that I was going to take off. And I do get so much more done in the day, but it's definitely scheduling, writing it down, and knowing what you're going to do that day that keeps you busy.
And being okay with that, Teresa, that was your challenge. You felt that if you took time off for yourself, for your personal self, if you went to the beach one day and walked through the beach, that was being stingy. You weren't taking care of the family. You weren't taking care of the clients, the business. And that
I think of
wasn't,
the
that's,
calls I miss, all the calls
Right.
I'm going to miss from my mentees, and
yeah.
that stuff.
You know what?
But it's so important to get grounded, to reconnect with yourself. And
Yeah.
I'm thrilled that you're doing it.
You know what, Sonia? I was thinking, like, my dream has always been, you know, like, I want to take 2 weeks and I want to go to Europe for 2 weeks. That's always been a dream. And I want to go for 2 weeks. But I almost feel bad. Number one, you feel guilty leaving your business. Number two, you feel like people are going to think, like, oh, doesn't he think he's cool standing in front of the Eiffel Tower? You know, or does that make sense? Like,
Yes.
we kind of like beat ourselves up on those things, you know, and then, like, you know, what are your clients going to think? If you're out on a trip for Europe, like, oh my God, now you're going to go on this listing appointment and you want to get your 2.5%, 3% or whatever. And I don't know, does that make sense to everybody?
Does everybody else resonate with that?
I mean, where you just feel like,
know.
you know, but at the same time, you got to wonder, like, does it matter? You know, I mean, I look at like Brian, he goes to Hawaii to visit his kids and he does this and that. And I think it's awesome. I don't think about it that way,
And
you know, but
you're right.
I have that own guilt in me. Like, if I was going to go to Europe for 2 weeks, and let me tell you, I'm going to, and I'm like, shit, I'm 50, I'm going to be 50 years old. If I want to go to Europe for 2 weeks, I've earned it. I'm going to do it. You know, so I'm going to do it.
Good. You should.
I'm going to. But, it's like, but you have these fears of like, but are you going to post it? Are you not going to post it? Do you keep it to yourself? Sonia said somebody bought a car and didn't even tell anybody they did it.
Oh, I didn't tell anyone I bought mine. Adam's one who posted mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you felt guilty.
I did. But I was with some of my girlfriends who I hadn't been with in a long time, and they're like, I was talking to them about that, about how, no, I don't want to seem boastful about going places. And they're like, Jenny, no, we want to see you. We don't ever see you unless it's on Facebook and stuff. You have to post that. So it was flipping my mindset. But Guy Scata keeps nodding his head yes about things. And so I'm wondering what Guy's thinking.
So Guy, turn on your mic, man. We want to hear, because we can see that you're definitely engaged, man. What you got?
Going to St. Augustine's for 9 years and 8 years at St. Augustine's, one at South Catholic. Totally can relate to everything you guys are saying.
Yep, he's feeling it.
Yeah.
He's feeling it. Well, all right. Well, thanks. All right. Well, let's keep moving.
Hey, I got one comment on that, Chuck. We often think we're brain surgeons or we're doctors, and nothing can happen without us being here. And as you know, travel is so important to me. And when I was working, I spent a month in New Zealand, and it didn't bother my business at all. Matter of fact, it excelled it because I was so focused on making sure everything was taken care of. It worked well. So we use that as, we're brain surgeons, we're doctors, and this thing will fall apart if we're not there. Sorry, you can be replaced in real estate.
Yeah, well,
and that's also the fear.
Sorry about that.
I mean, and not to get off.
I'm in a different mode. I love to travel, so I make it work.
Well, and not to get off subject, but I had 2 coaching calls in the last week and a half. I think one, Sonia was sitting on a lake in back east, like watching her kids on paddle boards, I think, or grandkids, and then you know what? I had my full call. I wouldn't even have known where she was at. She hit it just like normal, and then another one, I don't remember where she was, but she was somewhere else. And probably all of you guys didn't even know. Half the calls she was on with all you guys, she wasn't even in town. And we can do the same as real estate people.
You really can.
So, but anyways, okay, well, thank you, Sonia. We're going to move on. So and now it gets back to returning to the why. Most problems are due to the fact that you don't remember the purpose of why you were doing it. And all these actions. So why am I standing up here? Why is Jenny here? Why are you on the call? Like, why are we all here doing this? Is because, number one, we want to get better. We want to make sure that we're keeping the right priorities. We want to make sure that we're being good people. But we have to remember that why. And we just have to remember the objective, to reach our goals of everything that we do. And people are, especially in this business, Jenny, and everybody on this call, people are still trying to find that new technology, that niche, that secret weapon that's going to get them successful that nobody else knows about. They're going to go, you know what I'm talking about? I get it all the time.
Yeah.
Chuck,
Yeah.
don't, a brand new agents do this to me.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody, okay? I got it. I figured it out. I'm going to do 15 minutes of work, and I'm going to get more leads than I know what to do with. And I'm like, that's usually how they start out new. All I got to do is spend $1,000 a month with these people. I hear that all the time. But it really doesn't come down to buying leads or doing this or this special niche or this super crazy marketing piece or this website. It really comes down to doing things with purpose. That's what Mancinelli says. Doing things with purpose. And so the question becomes, everything that you're doing in this business or in trying to make it in this business, are you trying to make every call great? Are you knowing that when I'm going into that call, my purpose is this? Are you satisfied with where you are today? That's the question. Like, are you happy with where you're at and where your business is at? And there's a lot of people on the call that are. Hey, I just want to do 6 to 10 deals a year and I'm cool. Good for them. But for those people that want to do more than that, are you satisfied with where you are? A lot of people on the call, they haven't even done their first deal yet.
Right.
And when you're looking at what you're doing, just remember that the true reward from taking these actions is what? It's your why. And it jumped in here, Jenny, and I thought this was a good one. And Sonia, you'll like this one too. And the next chapter is called The Heart of Motivation.
Okay.
And it says that it's not just about your why. And we talk about this all the time. And I'm sorry, but I was excited about this one today. Maybe it's because I had 2 coffees. A big one.
Yeah.
On the second one, it was like this big. But
Nummy.
It's not just your why, but your who. Okay, is what it says. So I would ask you guys this on this call. Everybody, who inspires you? Who encourages you? And who motivates you? I think that's really important. I think that's things that we forget. Because you have to reach out and touch those people that inspire you, those people that encourage you, and people that motivate you. And think about who they are, and reach out to them and contact them. That's part of what we pay Sonia for. Sonia helps inspire you, encourage you, and motivate you. That's why we do this show. That's why you have your managers. That's why you have your Teresas, your Loris, all these different people, is to encourage you and to motivate you. And so the question in here is it not just being about your why, but your who. And the question would be, who believes in you?
Yeah.
Jenny, do I think you're a good recruiter?
Yes.
You are. And you're one
And
of the best
I didn't know I was going to be.
You are fantastic, but you're good at everything that you do, right? So, I mean, you are. You're really good at it. If you want to do it.
me.
What's that?
Now compliment
Oh,
me.
sure. Did I
And then
get
there's
enough?
people that, no matter how hard you try to inspire them or motivate or encourage them. No, I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding.
I'll take it.
Adam, I'll take it now. But so the big question is, who gives you the opportunities and who is always in your corner?
Yeah.
And so you have to not just know my why, but surround yourself by those people. And it says, pick up the phone. I have friends that every time go like, hey, Dopey, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget what you've done.
Yeah.
Don't forget the things that you've accomplished. Don't forget that you drive a nice car. You got a nice house. You got this, you got that. Like, quit feeling sorry for yourself. You're awesome. Get off your ass and get out there and do it.
Yeah.
So who are those people for you?
And you know what? Maybe, you're still looking for some more of those people. Come into the office. I was thinking about that. You guys, you have to feel kind of so alone in this business sometimes. Come in the office.
Look at all these people that are home on this call.
Yeah, come in the office. It's so fun.
Yeah, and then, once you're there, and I will say that the people that really helped get me started in this business were the John Hortons and the Mike Zings and the Mary Longs and, the Margarets and all that people, because I sat in the bullpen
And listened.
and I listened to them getting price reductions. I listened to them taking a listing over the phone. I listened to them setting up appointments for buyers. I listened to them talking, a buyer that was maybe nervous over the edge so that they would write that offer.
Yeah.
All those sorts of things. So you're right. If you are at home, you are never going to learn anything.
No, come in the office and just listen to the
It's true.
verbiage and everything.
And those people will inspire you.
Yeah.
But and the big kicker too is remember those people that have helped you along the way. We talked about this last
Yeah.
week with the funeral I went at. But touch base with them. Strengthen connections. And when you talk to people, like if you guys pick up the phone and say, Chuck, I'm feeling down, and you call me, by the time you're done, hopefully you're going to feel like you got a double shot of espresso.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to remind you why you're a badass.
Yeah.
All right, Corey Bryant? I see you on there like, am I good at this? This business is hard. Should I be here? Yes, you're good at this.
Oh, and she was at an open house with no AC.
Right? She's
She
doing
was
an open house. You
dying.
got the look. You got a kid. All right?
Yeah.
You're going to get married. You're motivated. Right? You got a nice smile right now. Look at you. All right? So you got it going on. You just got to help people remind you, oh, that's right. I do have it going on.
Yes.
So surround yourself with those people. Look at all the people. There's a bunch of people smiling on this call. You got Brian Keene in the call. You could call Brian, and Brian's going to pick up the phone and say, here's what I did. My first year, I got my ass kicked for 6 to 8 months. He did. And he's
did.
like, dude, this business is harder than I thought.
Yeah.
He made some adjustments. He learned. He set out a business plan, and now he's kicking ass. Pick up the phone and call Brian. He'll help you.
Oh, and he'll make you feel so much better.
He will. You know what I mean?
He will.
And then, so just kick that around, that you got to surround yourself with people who are willing to help you and touch base with them, strengthen that thing. You do need a business plan, Norma. And you know what? Let's do a business planning session.
Okay.
When should we do it?
I do not have our calendars in front of us.
I would do one if I knew people were going to show up.
Will people show up if we do a business planning
We can do it in
event?
Sales Mastery.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, all you
Yeah.
guys that want to do it, we could do a Sales Mastery business planning class. But you got to bring a paper and you got to actively participate. They say they'll show up. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll show up. All right, if they promise to do it, we could do it this Wednesday.
Okay.
And we could just go over some basics of business planning. Should I do it, Adam?
Yes.
Basics of business planning. You have to show up. You have to be here Wednesday at 9 a.m. We'll give you all the basic tools that you need to kick some butt, to have a plan, to go out and get it this Wednesday. All
And
right?
it's not
Send me a
just for-
DM, by the way, if you want to be in the audience for.
If you want to do it, like right
Sales
now,
Mastery.
a bunch of people just kind of tagged in here that they want to do it, and we'll do some advertising to it. But yeah, we'll do some business planning this coming
That's
Wednesday
awesome.
at 9 a.m. from 9 a.m. to
And even if
to
you
10.
think you already did your business planning for this year, it's July. It's time. It's almost July, guys. Reset it. Let's do this. Oh, I'm excited.
All right, a bunch of people are saying add me, Adam. So all right, so there it is right here.
Send
all
me
right,
a DM.
all right. So direct message Adam if you can.
Facebook.
On Facebook. All right.
Dear
so
Lord.
So anyway, so that being the case, so we have to surround ourselves with those people who inspire you, and you also got to make a list of things that inspire you, and a list of people who inspire you, and find someone else to motivate. The other way to really get yourself motivated, I can tell you this. So what do they say? Like, listening, it gives you like an 18% jolt that you maybe are going to do it and get it done.
Okay.
Writing it down gives you something like a 40 to 50% chance you're going to get it done. But teaching it and passing it on to others gives you like an 80 to 90% chance you're going to get it done. So,
What?
so when you're thinking about motivation, and when you're thinking, I need to surround myself with people that motivate me, I need to make a list of people that motivate me, motivate other people. Does that make sense? By reaching out, like, so if it's tough for you right now, there's people that it's even tougher for. So reach out to those people. And that was kind of the lesson that I said in my story this morning is reach out to somebody. You know, encourage others, and that will help encourage yourself.
That's so true.
Does that make sense? Every time somebody comes in like, Corey, if you said to someone else what I said to you, it's going to reinforce it in your brain. You agree, Teresa? Every time Teresa, the mentor, tells people they can do it and here's what you need to do and this and that, Teresa's business goes up. It's just the nature of the beast. You know, so every time Sonia says, hey, we can make your life better, her life probably gets better. She's probably got her life better than everybody else because she's helping us with the shit show, trying to get better.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean, Sonia?
Absolutely.
That's true.
It's just the way it goes. So find someone else to motivate, and that'll give you back your strength and purpose. So, and it talked about leadership in here, and I think this applies to all of us. True leaders always seek to encourage and inspire the next generation. That's a real leader. And so I want you guys all to think about this today. And I'm going to go back to Tristan. I'm going to start this over, okay? True leaders always seek to encourage and inspire the next generation. Everyone around you, by picking them up, you pick yourself up. So my question to you guys is, who are you going to inspire today? I think everybody should engage and say at some point, I don't care if it's the Starbucks worker, I don't care if it's the person behind the desk at your Chevron, I don't care if it's an agent that you run into, I don't care if it's the receptionist at the front desk. Choose somebody today, go in there, rock them, make them feel good, inspire them, and motivate them, and you will get the results for that. So just something to think about. One little compliment, and you know what? Even for me, like, when somebody says, hey, Chuck, you did a good job at this today or whatever, I still get giddy like a little kid. Don't you, Jenny?
Totally.
When one of you guys send a text to Jenny and say, you did great today. You should see her dancing around the office with her phone. Like, look what somebody said. Look.
He's the same, y'all.
No, that's
he's
not true.
the
So,
same.
just make sure that you encourage somebody. So anyways, all right.
Please send Chuck a DM and tell him how good he did today.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm fishing for. Jenny and I are really fishing for that. We agreed to that before it started. So anyway, so action speak. We're going to talk about that. And here's a big one, guys. Everybody on the call, don't you dare check out. I will smack every one of you guys.
Stay with us.
This
Stay
is
with
a big
us.
one. Ready?
Okay.
It talks about action being doing things versus the people that talk about it. We talk about that a lot, right? There's doers and there's talkers, right, Sonia? You're in coaching. This person says they're going to do this. They're doing that. And I know this because I can't say that she said this, but some people that she talks to, I'm just assuming, but you know they're never going to do it. Some people that talk and talk and talk. So, but here's the question to that. What is your reputation? If I say I'm going to do something, am I going to do it? If you say you're going to do something, are you going to do it? That would be my question. If I say I'm going to go on keto, Adam, how long are you going to last? Or are you somebody that tells everybody, I'm going to go on keto and I'm going to lose a bunch of weight, and you never do it?
No, he did this with me last week. I started Krav Maga, and he's like, "You're only gonna last 2 weeks," and I'm like, "Excuse me,
Why
Mr.
would I say that,
Motivation
though,
Man."
Adam? Why would I say that? Because maybe you've built a reputation of saying, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. So my question to everyone out there is, what reputation do you have, and are you a person that does what they say you're going to do? Or do you just talk and say, I'm going to do it, and you never do it?
Oh, are you still engaging me here?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Look,
but
once
I'm
I
just
get
saying.
a few more lessons in, I'll show you who's boss around here with my Krav Maga.
Okay, good. So the question is, what's your reputation, Jenny? And you have one. And do you have a question? Do you have a reputation of somebody that gets shit done, or do you have a reputation of somebody that just talks and never gets it done?
Are you asking me?
I am
don't
asking
know.
you.
What is my rep?
People text you with problems instead of me because they know you'll fix it.
True.
So
Shout out
Sonia,
to John Hill.
Sonia, what do you think? I mean, do you think everybody has a reputation? Like when you think of a person, do you think of them as a doer or a talker?
No.
Talk to me.
It's interesting. When people come and they say, well, I'm going to do this and this, and then we go along in 3 or 4 months it hasn't been completed, I know we have a bigger issue here, and we have to find out what's blocking a person from keeping them to go forward. What is it? They don't know what first steps to take. is it that they don't know how to start, they don't have their systems in place. That's what I find with their whys. And you're talking about doing a business plan. Business plans are awesome. I totally believe in them. But you have to go to the next step and say, what strategies do I have to put in place to make that happen? What do I need to do every single day, and actually plan it out so you know exactly where you're going into reaching your business plan. There's so many things that you can do, and yet we write them out, they look great, and then we put them away and we don't look at them again. So I like to go back and ask people, what's blocking you from being successful? Where do we need to go? What is your mindset? What is holding you back? And then we take baby steps, but we begin to work on it, because I believe everybody can be successful.
Agreed.
Totally. And it's just they don't have the right tools to get there, and that's where I come in, and we find out where they are and what they need to make that next level of success for them.
We've done so many of these shows now, Sonia. We've read so many of these books, these Eat That Frogs and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. You were saying, like, what's holding them back? Like, what's the problem? What's the issue? And it all comes down to the same thing. Me.
Yep.
I'm the reason that I'm not getting things done.
Totally.
And that's why when Sonia was saying, like, roadblocks and this and that, the roadblocks really are up in our head. The roadblocks are not, I don't have enough money for marketing.
Right.
I don't have enough help at home. Oh, my kid needs this and needs that, because we know that people are doing it with worse roadblocks than us.
Exactly.
So it is and does and ends and starts and begins with us. So Brian King, can I pick on you for a minute, man? I just, can you kick on your mic? I want to ask you a question. So there's quite a few, I'm looking right now, there's quite a few newer agents on the phone, newer salespeople on the phone. It started out rough for you, and then all of a sudden you turned a corner and put the pedal down. Do you mind talking about, did you have a mindset shift? Is it because you're writing down actionable items? Like, what sorts of things do you think helped you turn that corner and become Rookie of the Year and get deep into the six figures? Like, what do you think it was?
Well, in the beginning, it was just coming to the office, learning the business, learning the trade. I mean, I'm switching careers, so I wanted to make sure that my clients and database knew that this wasn't just a hobby. They knew that I retired from one job and picking up another, but I wanted to prove to them that it wasn't a hobby, that it was an actual full-time business. So I got out of my shell and started marketing, started really marketing and, not being afraid to, to tell people what I do and to tell people, ask them, hey, do you need help with your house? Do you need a CMA or whatever?
I think, Brian, even when we asked that billionaire what his secret to success was, Brian just said it. Not being afraid to ask for business with everybody they know. And Brian, do you follow a plan every day? Like, do you schedule out your month? Like, how do you keep organized in your tasks to make sure that you keep your momentum going?
Well, I have to. I coach with Sonia.
Yay!
Hey, Chuck, can I tell a funny Brian story?
Yes, please.
So when he was first coming in the office, and he's listening to me and Dana and Shirley and Julie and all the regulars, and he thought, gosh, they're so busy every day, like we were just working on our deals. He didn't realize that we were basically doing more marketing. Small amount of time is working on the deals, but most of it is constantly marketing. So we told him, start going through everybody in your phone. You've got a lot of contacts. Start texting them and just saying hi, how you doing, kind of a thing. And he started doing that. Well, they started texting him back, and he's like getting frustrated because he couldn't get through his list of people on the phone to text, because he had to go back and answer all these texts that were coming back in. And when the light bulb went off that, that's what we want. We want the engagement. We want you talking back and forth and then bring up real estate. It was kind of an eye opener for him that's what we want you to do, is go back and forth,
Absolutely.
But he wanted to get through that list.
Absolutely.
I went through my phone, Chuck. I went through my phone and just started with the A's, worked all my way down. And a lot of these people were people that I had contact with every day. And now, being retired, I got into real estate after about a year, after I retired. I hadn't reached out to these people in, a year. And so I was bombarded. My database went from 0 to, I think I was like 220.
Mm-hmm.
I had full emails because I had their numbers and, you know, I had their work emails, you know, but I got their personal emails and everything. So it really built up the database, but it took about a month, you know, so to go through and to get the database going.
Brian was fortunate to come with a large sphere of influence. And so many of us think we have to go out and farm in different areas, but he came with a large farm. And so we really focused him staying in touch with those he already knew. And they already knew him, liked him, and trusted him. It was just a matter to get them feeling good about taking him on as their real estate agent now. And that was when he began to put his systems in place. And when I say something to Brian, he does it. And he texts me back and he says, look, coach, this is what's happened. So he's one of those people who is totally focused and is obviously making it happen because he knows what he needs to do every day.
Well, and again, you know, the one thing I want to say about Brian, and that goes for Teresa and Sonia and myself and Jenny and anybody, is pick up the phone, call. Just Brian will give 10 minutes to anybody, right? Brian, I mean, Brian's happy to help, you know? So if you're discouraged and you're out there right now, like jump in, just reach out. I mean, I can't say that enough, Jenny.
Yeah, I agree.
Really. So, but thank you for sharing that, Brian, and thank you, everybody. So, all right, so we're still moving through here, and it talks a little bit about, you know, how Sonia was talking about, you know, they have to figure out what it is to, you know, what's not working, what marketing pieces, what this, and we kind of said, well, most likely it's all right here. It's our mental mind blocks. And the next section in the book says basically, you can look back on your life, but don't live there. And, you know, we're discouraged by things that have happened in our lives, and it's set up our wiring. We're discouraging what we have not accomplished in our lives. And I went into a serious depression, like I mean, I don't want to say, I shouldn't rank that because some people, you know, obviously have much worse issues, but I got really depressed when I turned 30 and realized I wasn't going to be president of the United States. You know what I mean? And because I was so discouraged, I really thought, you know, and then I lived there for like 6 months that like, you know, I'm not going to get this done, and, you know, blah, 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 and it's just the way it is. But, you know, instead of just moving forward and saying, well, why don't I just continue to try to be the best I can be, it did, so we all just have this thing of looking back in our lives, and it kind of, the things that are behind us wired us to be the point that really are those setbacks and holdbacks for us now. And it's just during these times when we're looking back and having those self-doubt that we have to remember that the past is gone. And it's just been learning lessons. And we need to not get stuck in pity parties and not look at our lack of accomplishments because it's just counterproductive. And one of the things it says, no matter whether you're the billionaire on the call or whatever, everyone has a checkered path of both good and bad things that have happened to them in their lives. And we have to overcome those bad things or use them as the starting blocks, you know, for the 100-yard dash or to get our business going, because those are the things that are holding us back. It's the past experiences. It's like Teresa said, it's the way she was raised. It's, you know, the level of like, this is what you do, or whether it be guilt or whatever it may be, those are the holdbacks. So we just need to be able to move on from those things. And the reason that, the way that this guy explains it is, the reason that he pulled up at a light, he's a very successful guy, by the way, the guy that wrote this book. He pulled up at a light and it said no U-turns. And he's like, you know what, I needed to get back there, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go where I was headed. So no U-turns, you know, and just rewiring. The next section is called Attitude Equals Impact. Now that's, again, we're talking about a lot of things that we talk about all the time, but it's good stuff. And it says, and I like this, giving is the secret to a healthy life. And that's what I was saying earlier about paying compliments, telling the person up front, the person working at Starbucks, the person working behind the counter at Chevron, like, by making them feel good, it makes you feel good.
And be sincere.
Right?
Be sincere, because they're going to know if you're just blowing
and
smoke.
You can find something special about everybody.
Everyone.
That's one of the things a lot of people say to me, like, because we have so many agents in this company, you know, so-and-so is an a-hole. I can't believe that he's still here or this or that. And the reason that they say that, and about you,
I was just going to say it's about Adam. It's really not about our agents, it's about Adam. Yeah.
I'll take it.
The reason that they say that is because they haven't looked into that person and found the good things about that person.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And I'll never forget somebody saying, like, I remember one of our top producers that's no longer with this company anymore, thank God, they opened up their own little team somewhere else. And they basically said, hey, that guy's a loser. And he was pointing at one of the agents. He's only closed like 2 or 3 deals in this last year. This guy's retired. He takes care of his 90-year-old parents. He was a pastor. He worked at Apple. He's probably the most best good-hearted person you've ever met. And they called them a loser, and it's when I realized that, number one, eventually karma's going to get them. But number two, they're not seeing the good in everyone. Because even the a-holes got good in them. Sometimes you just have to dig a little harder.
I agree.
You've been on interviews and you'll be like, that person was a jerk and this and that. And then later on you're like, I really like them.
Every time I'm like, they're going to end up being my best friend. I know it.
And that goes for clients too. You have to find that thing inside them. They're married. Somebody likes something about them.
Yeah.
Their friend, and those, Elizabeth just said, those who don't see aren't looking. It's true.
Very true, Elizabeth.
But going back to it, what I was saying is giving is the secret. This is his line. Giving is the secret to a healthy life, and not necessarily money. Okay, and doesn't mean you have to give money, but because I thought it meant like, oh, well, money's not the secret, it's giving. But no, giving is the secret to a healthy life. Not necessarily giving them money, but whatever a man has of encouragement and sympathy and understanding. So you want to be giving out those 3 things to really have success. Encouragement, sympathy, and understanding are the 3 things that we could give to our clients, we can give to others, and next thing you know, you're going to feel a little bit better about you. And my question next would be, do you affect people's lives positively and inspire them?
Yeah, do you guys?
And, again, it's not about your money, it's not about your car, it's not about your house. You can't take that with you. I know I say this all the time, but Denzel Washington, baby, can't pull a U-Haul behind a hearse.
Nope.
It's the truth you tell, the thank yous, the smile to a stranger, how you make other people feel, and the words of encouragement you give to others. That's really a big part of what it's all about. So there was a quote from Buddha, and it talked about moments you're living in. And I normally don't read the quotes that are in these books, but this one I like. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream in the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. And that is something I have learned. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's something that I learned through a little bit of counseling here and there that I've gone through in my life, and all that is living in the moment is so important, Jenny. And I can't believe how much I've been living in the future and thinking about tomorrow and all that sort of stuff, And they give an analogy of small kid trying to talk to his mom. It was a mom and a kid. They got out of their car and they were walking up to the school. And the mom was on her phone, and the kid was saying, Mommy, did you hear what we get to do today? We're going to be making a mission, and we're going to be doing this and that. And Mommy's like, Mommy's on the phone right now. Like, I can't talk to you right now because she's planning out her day, and she's planning out the things she needs to do. And the kid is just trying to have a conversation with him about something really exciting that's going on at school today. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, Mommy's on the phone, even out here, especially in real estate, screaming at them or yelling at them, or the little boys, little girls. Instead of taking that moment while that kid is little and still wants to talk to you.
Right.
Because there's going to be a time when they're not going to want to talk to you as much as they did then.
Amen.
So most of us are doing, one thing and focusing on something else. So we're doing this and focusing on something else. But the moment that you have right now, you'll never get back. You said that this weekend you were out doing tequila shots all night Saturday, and which is why you're tore up today.
Yes.
Did you know how cool that was in that moment that you were with all those people?
Well, I was so excited, and then I was thinking I didn't take hardly any pictures. I was in Arizona for my grandson's birthday. The shots were not at his birthday, but during his party, which was Sunday morning, I didn't take pictures. I wasn't taking a lot of video because I was in the moment with them. And then, but I have mind pictures, and that's what we have to remember. We don't always have to put everything on, out there.
Right.
Because you forget, I wanted to be in the moment.
Chuck?
Yes.
I would like to actually give you a compliment.
Ooh.
Okay. We've kind of hung out together quite a bit for the last, how old are your kids?
20 and 21.
20 and 21. Okay, so at least 21 years, because I was with you when the oldest was born. And what I noticed in all those years, and when we were managing in Marietta, everything, it didn't matter what conversation we were in. It didn't matter what meeting, what was going on. You always took those boys' calls. Whenever they called, you'd say, "Excuse me, this is my son." And you'd either get up and leave the room, or you would take the call right then and there and let them know that you were there for them, and you'd get back to them. But I've always admired how you took the time for your kids for the last 20 some years to make sure that they knew you were there for them no matter what you were doing. So I just thought this was a good time to let people know it's okay.
Yeah.
Take the time,
Yeah.
be with your kids. You know, he's got 2 fabulous young sons now that are really making it happen. And I think a lot of it was he was there for them through thick and thin. And I can tell you, we had some crazy times together. But
Well,
anyway, just throwing that out for you.
Thank you. Well, and I have actually taken calls on this show. I can't talk right now, Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, is everything okay?
You do. You still, you and Margaret both. If it is your kid or her kids or her grandkids, she picks up.
Wasn't that what it's all about?
Yeah, it is. That's why I
mean,
drove to Arizona.
The reason that
night.
we are all here on this call, working in real estate here at Coldwell Banker, doing what we do, is so that we can have a better life for our parents, like my mom calls it's the same, you know, or whoever it may be, but we're all here to worry about the life that's outside of here as well. You know what I mean? And so it's priorities. So thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that.
Plus, by doing that now, you're saving so much money down the road because bail is expensive.
That's actually true.
Absolutely.
That's actually true. And that is something that I used to say, Adam, is like, if you put the work in when they're young, later on you get to enjoy your life like you're doing now. You know what I mean? You just got to put in that work. But thank you, Sonia. So, but living in the moment, you know, like this weekend I had, both my kids showed up randomly. We had like 10 people sitting around a table. I mean, everybody, it was a wild time. My son was standing, I mean, he had a couple Marine buddies there. It was literally a spectacle at 2 o'clock in the morning, singing, screaming off the deck and stuff, but I knew I was there in that moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I had
you don't get that time
the person
back.
I wanted sitting to my left there. I had my boys there. And I knew, and it was one of the first times that I can honestly say that I knew I was in the moment. And I knew that I was enjoying it. And I knew that it's not about when I get my pool built or when I get my new car or when I get this or that. I knew it. And that's what one message I'd like to get out to everybody is acknowledge and try to understand that these moments are fleeting. And when you're in a good moment, rock it. Stop thinking about the future. That's the good one.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're in a mobile in Barstow, or if you're on the water in Canyon Lake, or whether you are at a gas station with people that you're laughing about, you know, anything at all. You know what I mean? So, oh, we got 2 minutes. Oh, I better jam. All right. So anyways.
I have announcements too. So.
Okay. So basically the time we get, we're never going to get back, Jenny. And at the end of our life, we're not going to be remembered for the deal we lost, for the text to a client we didn't have. You know, we're going to be remembered for the relationships, hopefully, that we make. And I know that from the funeral I was at last week. So the real challenge is to live in the moment. And, you know, if you're at dinner with a spouse or a significant other with a friend, be there physically and emotionally.
Yes, don't be on your phone.
Put that friggin' phone away. It's okay. You know, and my question to you is, do you find it easy to be in that moment? A lot of people are no. Do you think about the future more than you think about today? Do you worry about past mistakes more than today and the future's productivity? And when's the last time you've had uninterrupted conversations with anyone? That really is the truth.
Yeah.
Try to put that phone away once in a while.
Yeah.
And not go down those rabbit
Your
holes.
clients will be okay.
And
Your
it's
clients
rude.
will be okay.
It's rude. I mean, because I've been in conversations with people and I see them picking up the phone and I'm like, or we're looking at their Apple Watch.
I'm in conversations with you and you're looking at
I was just going to say,
Well, it's because I'm just bored with you guys when you're talking. No, I'm totally kidding.
Ouch.
I'm kidding. So
He's
when's the
not.
last time you had that uninterrupted conversation? You know, hopefully Margaret isn't watching, but hey, your career is important, but not at the cost of your life experiences and your family time.
True.
That's the truth. Your
It's
career is
true.
important, but not at the cost of life experiences and family time. Well, hey, I have more to get to. We didn't even get to my favorite stuff.
That's okay. We can do that. We have.
So next
guess
Monday.
what? We'll be here next
All
Monday
right. So
too.
we are going to do. I have a couple things I want to announce though.
Okay.
This Wednesday, we're going to do a little bit of business planning and productivity.
Yes.
With Sales Mastery at 9 a.m. here. You're all invited, but you have to come. All right, come
Yes.
here and let's do it here.
Get here by 8:45.
Yes, and then
please.
secondly, I have a really amazing panel on Friday for Fired Up Friday that everyone is invited to too. I'm going to invite everyone to Fired Up Friday this week here.
Oh, fun.
I have Carrie Guthrie from Coldwell Banker West. Her experience is far beyond 99% of the people in the real estate business. I have Karen Vargas coming from Coldwell Banker West, who is one of the best. Both of their offices are bigger than our entire company.
That's crazy.
And then Vicki Carpenter is going to be here representing our company.
Awesome.
So we're going to have all three of those people. And you know what? It's going to be a little bit higher level than some of this stuff, but it's going to be about systems and it's going to be about leads. So
Awesome.
try to come to Fired Up Friday and the Wednesday Sales Mastery. Yes.
And don't forget to all the mentees, tomorrow night, 5 o'clock at the training facility, we're finally getting together for the mentees who have joined during this COVID. It's over, so
5 o'clock tomorrow.
5 o'clock tomorrow.
Training room.
Training facility.
Okay, it's going to be awesome, and everybody's welcome. Yes, Adam, it's all you. You got 8 seconds. Go.
Okay, yeah. Please RSVP with me for Wednesday. Just send me an email at adam@ColdwellBankerAB. I currently have Amelia, Jessica Wells, Norma, Corey, Elizabeth, Matos, Teresa, and Gamil for Wednesday. So please send me an email so we can get you a seat for Wednesday.
Awesome, guys. And I'm actually going to reach out a little bit. If you're on Facebook, or even if you could go, everybody on this call, if you could go back to Facebook and share this show. Our goal is to reach as many people as we can, to get them involved, to get them on the calls, to help motivate people, to help hopefully inspire them and inspire ourselves at the same time. Mm-hmm. So if you could share this, I personally would much appreciate it if you could share this today on Facebook to everybody and say something nice. And so again, from Jenny and I, have a great week. All right, and hopefully you got a little bit of motivation today. I did. So happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Go out there and make it a great week, and thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Yay.
Bye, y'all.